Hi, it's Anna, your interpreter bestie. Today we're talking about the state of Nebraska. Let's go. Yes, Nebraska does require interpreter licensure. There are a few different ones, so I'll go through them all today. There is the general interpreter licensure. This one requires a certification. Options would be RID, NAD level 4 or higher, a level 4 or higher on the Mid-America Quality Assurance Screening Test that's offered through Nebraska Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. Also, other state certificates, or licensures that are equivalent and approved by the board. That license will expire on June 30th of odd numbered years, so every 2 years if the year ends on an odd number. The temporary permit, this allows you to work in the state for 14 days of the year. You must satisfy the above requirements for the licensures. And whether you're certified or have another state license that would be approved. And then at the end of the year, you have to submit a record of all the interpreting service hours that you provided in that calendar year, happening in that state. This would expire December 31st, and that's when you would send the record over. Now, you can't just go and interpret there for those 14 days. You must get prior approval, and then at the end of the year, you submit your record of hours. Moving on, there's something called the apprentice license. You can apply to this one time, and it is valid for up to 3 years. It allows you to work while working towards your licensure requirements. You have to follow the COPC on jobs that do not have serious ramifications. So you can't work in those types of environments. You have to follow the COPC and how they outline the types of work that you are allowed to take. You must complete an ITP, pass the RID written exam, and document eligibility for taking the National Performance Exam soon or within the near future. You need a letter of recommendation from your ITP chairperson, as well as at the end of each year, you have to submit a record of hours worked. Now this was a little bit interesting. They have something called the VRI providers, and it's more focused on business, but it's included in all these licenses, so I'm going to go ahead and explain it today. This requires a licensure. It also requires a business license. All of the interpreters who work for your business must be RID, NAD, QAST, or other state certification or license required. You would provide a list of interpreters that you employ that might be providing services through VRI and their certifications. And it renews on June 30th of even numbered years. So it renews every 2 years when the year ends in an even number. Next, we'll talk about educational. This is done through the State Board of Education. The general licensure requires RID or EIPA 4.0 or above, NIC, NAD, etc., but it does require the EIPA written, and it renews every 2 years. The provisional educational, this is 1 year or 2 years, it depends. You can do 1 year if you have the EIPA pre-hire, and up to 2 years with the EIPA 3.0. And there are other options that are equivalent to that type of performance assessment that you can look into more. You can research that yourself in the links below. Again, with the fees, I was not able to find specific fees. It mentions that there will be a fee associated, but I couldn't find the numbers with it. So, yeah. There are a few exemptions for religious interpreting, emergency interpreting when you're waiting for a qualified interpreter to arrive, and if you're in an ITP and working under supervision, that is allowed as well. All right, that's all that I was able to find. If you live or work in Nebraska and you have updated information about this, please let us know. I'd really appreciate it. Or anything else you would like us to know about working in your state. Thanks. Bye.